jumping into game number one. Without seeing these guys play so far, I definitely give the edge to caliburTek just based off of the matchup. But WhenShadow was able to destroy Dragonfire in his previous match, so you never know what he can do to caliburTek. And already racking up a quick 50%, but caliburTek trading blows with him for the most part. Gets that Holy Water into side smash, and WhenShadow is going to be extremely susceptible to that just because of how heavy he is. Already both these guys on the red. WhenShadow over 100%, and he jumps right into that axe, and he is so big, it's just tough for him to dodge that, getting back to the stage. And caliburTek all of a sudden running away with this first stock, but beautiful parry from WhenShadow. Parries the Holy Water and turns it into a kill off that smash. And caliburTek now trying to equalize, and he does convert 2 up specials back to back to get that kill on WhenShadow, taking him off the top. We are all even at 2 stocks apiece, but WhenShadow, look at this. Gets that up throw into a couple up airs, and caliburTek suddenly over 70%. So look at the damage WhenShadow is able to put out. caliburTek suddenly at 100% the blink of an eye. WhenShadow gets that up smash to cap things off, nearly gets a 0 to death as he explodes on that second stock. All of a sudden dominating this game, forward air into side smash. Landing back air at caliburTek. Suddenly just treading water here, desperately trying to survive in game number one. As WhenShadow suddenly running away with things, but caliburTek starting to get his feet under him. A couple up airs taking WhenShadow off the top yet again. WhenShadow though, knocking that Holy Water out of existence. Doesn't even allow it to hit the ground. caliburTek just struggling to survive here. caliburTek hanging on at 100%, but WhenShadow chases him up into the air and finishes him off. Just killed him off the top with that up air. And WhenShadow, some really dominant play in that first game. It was kind of back and forth at some points, and then WhenShadow would just go on a massive run. He manages to take game one. So game number 2, that one went by extremely quickly, and WhenShadow kind of surprising me here, but he is clearly a very talented DK player. Just absolutely destroying caliburTek. At times in that first game, caliburTek, to his credit, did make it sort of close down the stretch, but once WhenShadow, anytime he got on him in that first game, he just racked up a ton of damage all at once. And that's kind of how it goes for DK. They go on these stretches of just absolute dominance. But right now, caliburTek opening up a solid lead here in game one. Both of them in the red, but WhenShadow at 150%. Just trying to stay alive here as he looks to take the momentum on this first stock. But right now, it's mostly caliburTek as he just keeps knocking WhenShadow off the stage. And there's the Holy Water into side smash, and caliburTek will take the early lead. WhenShadow trying to even things up. caliburTek hanging around at 130%. Building a little bit of extra credit. WhenShadow gets that grab, pummels caliburTek a little bit, but can't get the kill off the back throw. So caliburTek still alive to rack up some extra credit. Already has WhenShadow up to 75% of the second stock. So in game 2, caliburTek has certainly tightened things up a little bit, and it is making things a lot more even. WhenShadow just struggling here to kill caliburTek, who is over 200% now. And finally, he will chase caliburTek off stage, and he will take that first stock. And now he's got to play from behind. He has his neutral special fully charged. caliburTek doing his best to not allow him to get close to use that. Good axe toss, catching WhenShadow, waiting too long on the ledge. There is that holy water into side smash, but caliburTek not actually getting the side smash, but he does get the up special to take WhenShadow down to his final stock here in game 2. So caliburTek with a big lead right now, but WhenShadow trying to erase that deficit. 4 up airs in a row. Can he find more? caliburTek finally getting his feet back down on the ground. Oh, but he's going to get buried into the side smash, and WhenShadow, despite looking like he was going to be in a massive hole, brings things back, equalizing things at 1 stock apiece, and caliburTek now trying to regain the momentum after WhenShadow completely destroys the second stock. And now it's caliburTek kind of juggling WhenShadow. And Shadow now caught in the holy water at 100%, and he's not going to be able to make it back. And both these guys go on some crazy runs here down the stretch, but it's going to be caliburTek evening this set at 1 game apiece. And this is tough to call right now because both these guys are going on huge spurts of damage back and forth. And just when you think one is in control, the other player suddenly racks up 50, 60, 70% damage in the blink of an eye. And it's really hard for me to get a feel of who's actually in control here, because for the most part, this is just back and forth constantly. It'll be interesting to see what changes are made as we head into game 3, if any changes are made at all. So we will have a stage change. Looks like we're going to see Final Destination for Game 3. caliburTek will stick with Richter, still waiting for Shadow to show his character pick. And he has actually swapped to Ridley. So our second Ridley player of tonight.
3, 2, 1, go!
We'll see if WhenShadow can have a little more success with Ridley than Bacchus did in the other semifinal. caliburTek getting a nice start, but WhenShadow answering right back, and look at the damage output. Suddenly caliburTek finding himself in the red and closing in on 100% now, and that plasma breath is actually going to be enough to give caliburTek. He can't make it back to the stage. A little bit of a misplay. I think he might have been better off going for his tether. So that situation was kind of 50-50. He might have been screwed either way. Right now, WhenShadow has a nice lead. caliburTek not reacting to the holy water. He should have been able to get a kill off that. And now WhenShadow going on another run here. caliburTek up to 50% on his second stock. WhenShadow 130% and refusing to die right now. caliburTek tossing his axe the wrong way, fails to get that V reverse. He will connect with it this time though as WhenShadow tries to get to that ledge. But there's a little bit of a delay when you use Ridley's up special and you try and go straight to the ledge. WhenShadow though off the respawn, taking caliburTek down to his final stock. So caliburTek evens things up and then immediately gets brought down to his final stock. And right now, Shadow up 2 stocks to 1, no damage taken on the second stock, and caliburTek in a huge hole finally rack up a little bit of damage, but WhenShadow just has such a massive cushion. Look at that side smash! And Shadow trying to trap caliburTek at the ledge, but it's not going to work out as caliburTek going on a little bit of a run here. Getting Shadow into the red. Shadow gets caught in the holy water, and he will go down. caliburTek converting this time. And now both players down to their final stock, but caliburTek in a big hole right now, over 100% again on this final stock, and Shadow should be able to close this out, barring some crazy plays from caliburTek, and it's not going to happen. WhenShadow will take game number 3, and back and forth we go again. This time, Shadow picking up a win on Ridley. And a little bit of redemption for the Space Pirate here. Bacchus couldn't get a win, but WhenShadow certainly could. Alright, he certainly did. So game number 4, WhenShadow currently up 2-1 over caliburTek.
3, 2, 1, go! Go! Take this!
Strong start for caliburTek, and look at that axe toss. WhenShadow approaching 100% already. And Battlefield, definitely a stronger stage for Richter. And look at that holy water into the side smash. caliburTek, much stronger start in this 4th game here, 2nd one with WhenShadow on Ridley. Nice upbeat, but it's not enough to kill caliburTek, and WhenShadow still unable to even things up. But caliburTek not going to be able to recover from that far out. This whip just can't get him back to the ledge. WhenShadow gets a little bit of a gift here. Still down big in percent, although with that up smash, he is going to close the gap considerably. Trying to stay alive here, 135%, but caliburTek gonna shut that down as he gets that holy water into side slash at the ledge once again. WhenShadow now down to his final stock, caliburTek still under 100% here with 2 remaining. Refusing to die right now. WhenShadow, they say something and then it happens. caliburTek does finally go down, and we're evened up at 1 stock apiece. WhenShadow looking to close this out. caliburTek trying to stay alive and force game 5. caliburTek will force game 5 as WhenShadow can't recover. So caliburTek evening things up at 2 games apiece as we head to a decisive game 5. And I don't know. WhenShadow probably won't switch because Ridley has been working out for him. Even in that last game, he had it pretty close down the stretch. Just wasn't able to recover at the end. So WhenShadow actually going back to DK for game 5. And maybe just a comfort pick for him. Not entirely sure this is what the right choice, but I can't say it's necessarily wrong either. caliburTek doing a good job playing against it so far. WhenShadow over 100%. But bringing things back, great down smash, and just like that, we're back to even for the most part. Back there from WhenShadow as he finally is able to recover safely. Look at this first stock, just back and forth action from both these guys. WhenShadow hanging on to the ledge a little too long with the axe, not enough to kill him. DK a little too heavy, but his second axe will do the trick. WhenShadow, the first one to fall, but caliburTek's at 131%, so he may not stay alive for long. The margin for error is really small right now, and WhenShadow is going to take caliburTek's stock with that nair. Just like that, we're back to even, although caliburTek has a small percent buffer at the moment. And he's going to build on that with the Holy Water into side smash and an axe toss as well. Just like that, WhenShadow over 100. caliburTek juggling him quite a bit here. Good patience from WhenShadow, letting caliburTek think he's safe and kind of baiting him with that grab. caliburTek bamboozling himself a little bit, throws out that Holy Water and gets the hit, but he backs off, and WhenShadow able to turn things around on caliburTek, gets that neutral beat, takes the stock, and now he's up 2-1, but he's over 130%. So the cushion here is quite small, and I don't think he's going to get any extra credit. As caliburTek not quite able to find the kill, but does have a huge, well, I wouldn't say advantage, but he should be able to find this kill. But WhenShadow with rage, I don't really know what's going to happen here. He's at 170%. caliburTek just can't kill him. He's got great DI going on. He has this rage, and I want to say he's not going to be able to find extra credit, but anytime I say something like that, the exact opposite has happened. Look at these back-to-back back airs here for Shadow, as he's still hanging around at 200, finally goes down. So caliburTek getting rid of that rage, getting rid of a fully charged neutral B as well. Slowly but surely closing this gap, but WhenShadow knocks him down with that down air. Both these guys challenging each other constantly in the air, just up in each other's faces. caliburTek has that distinct advantage of range, and he is juggling Shadow once again. Shadow at 130%, great air dodge to get past the axe, but he can't get past the whip. caliburTek just not letting him get back down to the ground safely. And caliburTek looking like he has a really strong chance to close this out. Once again, hitting with another tilt. Throwing out that axe. Shadow, the armor from the up B runs out before he can get back to that axe and to the ledge. And Shadow just barely hanging on at 180% as caliburTek continuing to play keep away. Shadow with that air dodge just barely surviving right now. Another axe comes out. He's able to avoid it. But caliburTek has not let him hit the ground for so long. But Shadow managing to get that down smash. caliburTek now over 100%. Shadow with the down tilt. Sending caliburTek flying. Can he close this out? He cannot. And he's going to send himself too far below the stage. He went all in on the down air. And he can't convert on it. And caliburTek will survive in Game 5. And he will move on to face King Chris in Winners Finals. What an ending. WhenShadow just going way too ham there at the end for that down air. And he went low and caliburTek just kind of easily avoided that. I'm really not sure how Shadow could have gone about that better aside from just not going for it and maybe going for a forward air instead. But he must have thought caliburTek was going to maybe delay his recovery. I'm just not entirely sure the thought process there for when he went for that down air. And caliburTek survives and will take on King Chris.